The Honda NSX is a car that feels like a secret. Its badge doesn't loan it the reverence that, say, an angry cow does. Kids don't go nuts when they hear Honda, yet those who know what it is know that it's something very special indeed.
The NSX came about after some gentle experimentation. In 1984, Honda's team was, albeit professionally, playing. They put an engine in the middle of a Honda City and drove its rear wheels. Now, it was decided that perhaps that wasn't the right treatment for a city car, but now might be the right time for something a little bit more exciting. Honda got in Pininfarina to design a suitably slinky body and greenlit a car that could take on anything that the Germans and Italians could muster.
Fast forward a little bit, Honda had a 270 brake horsepower VTEC 3-litre V6 plopped in the middle of a stunning body. Development work was done alongside the firm's motorsport division, which meant access to F1 drivers, and yes, it's at this point we mention Ayrton Senna, which is some sort of law when talking about the NSX, a bit like Enzo Ferrari and the E-Type.
Anyway, the finished car was really quite the thing. Aluminium helped keep its body light. It had 4-channel anti-lock brakes. Its cabin was far forward for better visibility. It had Lecky power steering so you wouldn't knacker your arms out while you were manoeuvring. Aluminium suspension helped ride and handling no end, and its engine was full of lots of techie stuff to keep the nerds happy. Oh, and finally, the paint was a 23-step process. There's no orange peel here.
It was a technological masterpiece that very much fit the brief of anything Italy can do, we can do better. It was good too, very good, so good in fact, that Gordon Murray, he of making everything light and brilliant, used an NSX as a benchmark for the McLaren F1. He loved the car's suspension, aircon and drive-by-wire throttle, an idea he nicked for the car from Woking.
He did lament its modest power and high price, but that didn't really stop him from buying one and doing more than 70,000 kilometres in it, which, when you think about who he is and what he's done, is high praise.
Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have spotted something a little different about the two cars we've got here today. These aren't standard NSXs at all, they are special. This first one is an NSX Type R. Introduced in 1992, the R is what happens when you tell engineers that it's okay to make a car that's a little less person-friendly and happier on track. And it kind of makes the standard NSX look a bit chunky.
The first thing Honda's engineers did was strip as much weight out of it as possible. So there's less sound deadening, no aircon, no stereo, no traction control, no spare tyre. Even the base car's leather gear knob was swapped out for a lighter weight titanium one. Hell, the seats are lightweight carbon buckets and the wheels are lightweight as well. Now, you could spec some of that luxury back in, but that would cost you weight.
All those changes add up to 120 kilos, which isn't small change when the car it was based on weighs in a little more than 1,300 kilos itself. Obviously, a diet wasn't the only thing Honda did to it. No. Stiffer springs up front helped handling, while an increased final drive and blueprinted crank gave it a bit more pep than standard. 0 to 62 took 5.4 seconds, and it would top out at 168 miles an hour. Here's the sad thing, this was only really built for the Japanese market, and only 483 of them rolled off the line. The hardcore were, very sadly, limited.
In 1997, the NSX got a little bit of a boost. Its engine had a bit more pop. It's now 3.2 litres to the old car's 3 litres, now kicking out 286 brake horsepower, thanks to some pretty hardcore engineering. It also got a bit more torque, 225 pound-foot to the old car's 210. It came with closer gear ratios and a lighter yet stronger alloy making up its body. There were some creature comfort tweaks as well, but probably most importantly, let's face it, there was a new derivation. This one, the Type S.
The Type S, this one, wasn't designed to be a hardcore anger beast, but a car to be enjoyed on the road by everyone. Honda took a bunch of weight out by some smart means. Carbon buckets replaced leather seats, the titanium shift knob, lightweight BBS wheels, a Momo wheel, a mesh engine cover, single pane rear glass, manual steering, a light battery, and lots more. In all, Honda ditched 45 kilos, about as much as an average 13-year-old. ish. Now this particular car will be up for sale on Shooting Brake imminently, depending on when you watch this, so keep an eye out if you like the look of it.
As ever, you could spec some of that luxury back in, but would you? I probably would. Anyway, it does have a little bit more power than the R, but also a little bit more weight. However, it was designed to be driven more often, maybe as a daily, so it's probably a good thing that Honda didn't go too far with all the weight saving.
Only a couple of hundred of these came off the line, which seems a shame as it was almost as quick as the Type R on track, and it was quicker to 62 by over half a second. Now, this particular Type S has been signed by racer Daisuke Ito, which is pretty neat, and as mentioned previously, it's for sale on Shooting Brake, depending on when you watch this. So if you like the look of it, click the link below and get on it.
I know what you're thinking, which is best? I simply must know, but the fact of the matter is it's not quite that easy. They're different cars designed for different purposes. The R over here, well, that's designed to take on tracks and set the fastest lap possible, well, whenever and wherever it is. The S is for the more committed road driver. What they are, though, are great examples of what happens when engineers get distracted and end up, well, creating something that manufacturers all over the world take notice of.